participants and choose the number per group that evenly divides then.
Hello, guys.
Hello, Nudamar.
Hello.
Yeah, I just asked in the Telegram to see if we can know like how many people. So this is all you. This is all you guys Telegram handles who did that part.
Yes.
Are you guys all participating in the candidacy or no?
I'm gonna step out of this one, Luke.
Oh,
personally.
dude, I'm gonna just bias all the voting and say, guys, let's vote for Rob. He's been here for the longest time.
Oh man, and
That
I was gonna say the
be-
same for you, Luke. I was gonna say the same for you.
That one's gonna be easy.
I was literally, Rob, I was like, dude, you're the one, in my opinion, you definitely should be the one to move forward from this group so far. I would like to get to know you guys as well, but I just know from my experience so far, Rob has been a really valuable member of this community, really well connected.
Thanks,
to
Luke.
everything going on. So I would be honored to have you come out of this round.
And turning that right back around, I mean, Luke's the guy when we're in the room at a conference trying to figure something out that gets everyone talking. So he's a catalyst. And I think that Luke would also make a very good candidate here. Yeah. I know we got to go through the official process though.
Yeah.
But, yeah, my big thing is I thought it was going to be 2 hours. I saw it was 4 and I was like, I already have overbooked other stuff. So I didn't want to break those obligations too. So I think, anyways, who knows, maybe Nudamar or CX will surprise us.
CXVNK, how would you like us to address you? Because it is it's almost like I'm talking to R2D2. So I want to
know. Just Vlad.
What's that?
Vlad, just Vlad.
Vlad, excellent. That works for me. Thank you.
Okay, nice to meet you, Vlad.
Good to meet you, Vlad. Nudamar, how about you? Prefer Nudamar?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna give away my vote, so I'm not gonna vote on myself. And Luke Stoke, it's come on, it's a rock star, and I believe in the.
I'm not even kidding. I was gonna vote for Rob if he didn't have a schedule conflict. That's the way it should have gone. But is Nudamar how you want to be addressed? Is that cool?
Yeah, you can call me Nuno if you want, but my nickname.
Did you say Nono or Nunu?
Nuno, N-U-N-O.
Nuno. All right, cool.
Yeah, it's my family name.
Nice.
I mean, not family name, my first name, I'm sorry. And yes, I'm a surf coach, and I want to help to build a new world for us and for our kids, and just take actions and not just be on the sides and let this world get worse every single day. So that's why I'm here. And yes, I'm not going to vote on myself. I'm going to give away my vote, and I think I already choose the candidate.
When you say you're a self-coach, what kind of? I mean, we got apparently a good amount of time to kill with 4 of us. So, what kind of self-coaching do you do?
I'm a surf coach, so I coach people surf. It's my
surf. I thought you said
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I grew up in Huntington Beach. I started surfing when I was like 5 years old.
I'm a surf coach and a skate surf instructor. I'm a skate instructor or coach, whatever.
Nice.
But what I do for now, due to COVID, I'm a health and safety advisor. So I'm trying to survive all that mess of COVID. So I help people to keep their business open, just do the bureaucracy. I don't know if you say that in English, but the papers. And yeah, it's been a long road. And what's that? Something it's ringing. Okay.
That's my Discord. 1 second.
Okay,
so call.
Okay, so it's what is Nudie. It's a guy just try to change the world. If you need any lesson of surf here in Portugal, so you just reach out. Vlad,
that sounds awesome.
do you want to introduce yourself? I'm going to stop talking.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Vlad. There's two projects that I've been working on the mainnet. One is Consortium, which is a governance tool for the communities on the mainnet. And the second one is the DApp we recently released. It's CTF. It's a first ETF on mainnet. And yeah, just the governance is my main area of interest, and I would like to work on designing the hidden governance processes and just providing some additional tools for US communities as well.
So yeah, it looks like the groups are 4 in size, if there's 16 rooms and 64 participants. Vlad, that's cool, man. I'd love to look into your projects more. The more the merrier when it comes to governance, because you know it's up to us to forge a path forward together. And so that's really cool.
Is this, I just was Googling it real quick, is this consortium that I see on DApp Radar? It's a decentralized governance for social organizations?
Yep.
Oh, that's way cool. So like in the chat, we don't have like a, yeah, that's to everyone. So we don't have like a chat just within our group, huh? It's kind of a bummer, right? Because I was gonna send a link. I've got something I've been playing around with that's using, because I'm currently managing director for the FIO protocol, the Foundation for Inter-Wallet Operability, and we've got human readable addresses for crypto. And I've got an idea of simplifying DACs and DAOs into just groups with, you know, members and admins that are elected by the members. And it's a really, really, really simplified version called FIO Groups. I'd love to send it to you at some point. I have a bit.ly link to make it easy to find, but anyway, it's actually just FIO Groups -deck if you want to do it. bit.ly/FIO Groups -deck if you want to check it out. Or maybe I'll ping you on Telegram at some point, but I really like the idea of merging kind of the DAC DAO idea with like community groups people are familiar with. Like it's just a group of people that come together with a shared goal and they want to accomplish something, and then making it connected to a FIO address and a FIO domain as the group identifier for the individual, for the, you know, the domain being the group identifier and the address being the individual identifier. You get that human readable experience that's super simple and easy. And that's another thing I think that is really important in crypto. Like we build all these cool, awesome things, but like if they're too damn hard to use, no one's going to use them. And we've got this, you know, innovator stage of 1% to 2% of the population that's okay with crypto as it is today. But we've got this, you know, early adopter stage that's coming, and they require a lot more usability. And I've been thinking a lot more lately about Steve Jobs and how he just kind of like owned the whole computer industry. He's just like, look, y'all need to make this easy. It's too damn hard. So yeah, it's like when you do that, it's like all of a sudden everyone's like, oh my gosh, I can use computers now, you know? So, and I think the PC revolution kind of caught up with what Apple injected in the world to like just make the, well, or Xerox actually, because they copied from Xerox, right? But just making stuff easy. Anyway, I guess I'll give my official intro. My name is Luke. As you know, I'm, as I mentioned, managing director for FIO. Also have been a block producer with EOS Stack. I haven't been as engaged as much in that lately as a block producer, but was around at EOS mainnet launch. Prior to that, was a block producer or a witness on Steam and Hive. So I've been around the DPoS world for quite a bit of time. Computer science degree, but also kind of really passionate about governance stuff as well, DACs and DAOs, and just like getting humans to understand themselves and understand each other and work together. And I see blockchain as a mechanism for global nonviolent consensus. It's a way that we can actually coordinate together as a species, which we previously didn't have, because before it was like whoever's got the guns and can make the large threats of violence, you know, kind of forces everyone else to do what they want. Whereas in this case, we've got a tool that allows us to come to an agreement. And I think it's a really, really powerful tool. And I think it's a life well spent trying to create a world we all want to live in using tools like this. So,
I'll do. While losing you.
I'm excited about spent about 9 months working with Brock Pierce trying to get a EOS Foundation DAO up and running. And that was a big challenge, mainly because Block One, oh, am I cutting in and out?
Yeah.
I just saw
No, you're
internet
okay.
is
No,
unstable.
you're okay.
All right, cool, thanks. And it's like we had trouble building that EOS Foundation DAO mainly because the community was like, I don't want to do anything without Dan Larimer or Block One. And when I say the community, in that case, I mean specifically the largest token holders who had the most skin in the game to lose. So we just couldn't get the consensus to move forward and kind of be against Block
Can
One,
you say
essentially.
why? Sorry, to interrupt you. Can you
No,
say
not at all.
why did you?
I think it's not a logical decision to go up against $5 billion. That was kind of the main thing. Like those who have so much skin in the game, they're like, we're not going to make an enemy out of Brendan Bloomer, Dan Larimer, and Block One. Like we're only going to do something to protect our investment, which includes their support, right? And because we couldn't get that support, they weren't interested in a DAC down model for one. And then we were like, okay, let's repackage it as just a foundation. Like there just wasn't that support. And so kind of everything was on hold for a long time. And so now that Dan left and Dan's kind of doing his own thing, I've been kind of re-engaged a little bit. I've had some phone calls related to that kind of stuff. So things are moving forward now, I think, in a good way. But there's still a lot of pain. I did a post a couple weeks back about frustration with Block One, or maybe it was last week, but frustration with Block One that a lot of people feel in the community. And that's stuff we got to figure out. As a community, we got to figure that out. We got to figure out how do we heal those wounds and get people to move on, because so many people outside of the EOS bubble just want nothing to do with EOS because they just look at it as the biggest scam ever. It's like, oh man, you took $4 billion from everyone. All you gave them was a network that you're not involved in, right? They can't separate Block One from EOS. And I think with Eden, we have the first opportunity to do that. We can actually separate Block One and EOS and have EOS live on its own. And it's kind of almost a little discouraging that we have this big price pump just because of an announcement of bullish. It's like, okay, great, fine, whatever. But like until we can get the price to pump because of what we do as a community, not just whatever Block One does. Anyway, so enough of me babbling. Rob, tell us all about how you've been serving with EOS Detroit and everything else, and all the EOS IO specific stuff too, with like the wax. You've done all kinds of awesome stuff.
Luke, thanks for the primer. I think it helps to understand the past as we go in, or we work in the present to make a better future. So having that backstory, it's not like there's some unified history of EOS where someone can go read what happened. And of course, everyone's got a different perspective. So it helps. Thank you. And I think people just want to see, in response to the Block One thing, I think people just want to see them try to change their strategy a little bit, like incorporate feedback and, reorient maybe how they approach the network, but can't speak for them. I'm not in there and I don't know the whole story. So I try to stay indifferent on that front for the most part, although it is frustrating seeing lack of capital deployment and things like that over these years cause talent to basically leave the EOS network and ecosystem. And really that talent retention problem is how I've thought of it, because it's like, wow, there's these groups that were doing startups on EOS that are now going to Solana or Flow or some other ecosystem that provided them some capitalization. Maybe they're just chasing money, but long story short, building tech is expensive, and these teams need extra support because it can be challenging. So on my little brief intro here, been following Dan's work since BitShares days back in like 2013-ish. Got really interested in crypto when I was in college, just like pondering, whoa, money that isn't backed by a nation state, that is cryptographically hard, that allows us to do new things on the internet. This is great. And especially as someone who came from like an activism background where, growing up in some of these areas in Michigan, where I'm from, where, there's blight, there's poverty, there's like, the story of the Rust Belt in the United States, which is like, mono industries crumbling and causing a lot of problems societally. I was like, how do we use this new tech in order to apply, how do we apply it to these issues basically, or how do we bridge that? Of course, we're doing all this plumbing work now. It's, you know, like Luke said, it's too hard still. So there's still a lot of work to be done, but there's always been hope. And that's why I've always stuck around, because I see progress and I see more people joining up over time. And, you know, Eden is a testament to that, like looking in that Zoom room and seeing 60, 70 willing participants that just want to figure out how to coordinate together to move the needle is really inspiring. So as far as my work goes, I've been interested in governance. EOS Detroit was always sort of, you know, we were organic, bootstrapped, just sort of scrappy team, didn't really have a whole lot of capital up front. And we just stuck around and, you know, we just figured out what we could do to be valuable or in our minds with what we had. So over time, you know, we had to change our strategy and adapt because we weren't earning any block rewards on EOS at first. We were also a launch VP. And we helped start Telos, and that was a really interesting experiment in like governance and coordination. And, you know, it's still ongoing. We worked on like drafting like governance documents, sort of like the original idea behind EOS, and learned, you know, how difficult that is to implement and enforce, similar to what EOS learned over time. So, you know, it's still very interesting. I think the more recent governance work I did was helping form the WACS Office of Inspector General, which is sort of like a network role that's a watchdog agency. You know, it's still got some training wheels on in the sense that WACS is controlled by a company. So it's more of a consortium network than like a fully decentralized network right now. But the idea is to create a framework by which to work towards objectively validating BP performance. And of course, there's tons of room for improvement. Long story short, like, how do we make this more lightweight? How do we streamline it? How do we make it easy to participate? How do we make the information accessible? How do we make sure we're measuring the right things in the right way? How do we define right? You know, like, it's very interesting stuff. So anything we can move towards putting governance systems on chain that are easy to use, as you were addressing, Luke, with FIO Group's idea, is definitely worthy of experimentation, I think. And my hope is that Eden will evolve towards that. Yeah, and I guess otherwise, I've just been really focused on this NFT trend lately, and, you know, looking to contribute to Eden on that front. I know there's an NFT component that's been discussed, and very excited to just see the result of the test election today. So yeah, that's my blurb. I'll zip my lips now.
That was awesome, Rob. I really hope, as I've told you before, I hope someday to have the Office of Inspector General on the FIO protocol as part of the FIO community as well. It seems really, I'm just the outside looking in, but it looks like you guys have some really good structure there, you know, that at least organizes some expectations with the community and the block research, which I think is a great thing.
Yeah, Luke, my apologies on that front. I know we discussed doing that, and we can definitely take that offline and talk about it.
Yeah, no worries. No shame.
Yeah, no,
I've been so busy that I wouldn't have been able to focus anything. But someday.
Yeah, no, I'd love to invest in that idea of generalizing this tool and allowing it to be ported and sort of deployed to different networks in a way that's sound, you know, where it's not a huge lift. And, you know, what's cool is, you know, I served my term and I've been replaced through an election process. And, you know, there are 3 people, well, 2 out of 3 of the current inspector generals are new and elected. Well, all 3 have been elected, but one of them was reelected. His name's Joseph at EOS Barcelona. So long story short, the system is working, it's alive, and it's new people are getting elected over time, and it's evolving. So it's really cool to watch, you know, a system you helped start take on a life of its own.
Do you think you guys can use the Eden software or Eden structure for what you are doing in governance matters?
Possibly. I mean, the thing is, I think it's always worth exploring. And I'm not even attached to the current inner workings of that group or understand where exactly they're taking it anymore because I've retired from the role. So I make sure, though, in these other spaces, because we operate EOS Detroit on a few different networks, that we are trying to cross-pollinate and find win-wins where, hey, this experiment on this network's working well. How can we share that learning with another network? My philosophy around EOSIO, and I think the way Dan intended it too when he articulated the original vision, was EOSIO is meant to be a general platform. There's supposed to be a lot of networks. And if we think about it that way and we take the protocol and adjust it for different things like FIO or FIO, which is a really awesome, highly customized version of EOSIO, that's quite the engineering feat, honestly. We can learn. It's like EOS is the control and we have experiment groups almost, or, like a science experiment is kind of how I like to view it, and trying to make win-wins. And, there's money and value at stake. And some people are like, I only care about these tokens price or whatever. But if you get away from that kind of conceptualization, we don't even know how to scale these up the right way yet. We're still learning that. So these networks are going to be hitting constraints as they ramp up that we have to continue to learn. And having many networks means that there's more choices for developers and users to, perhaps make a more economical choice for their app. Because, EOS is expensive. And Power Up, I think, is going to help change that too.
Can you just, as a user, because I think here I represent a user, because I'm not a tech guy. I'm just a guy came around and I'm a surf guy. Just, okay, let's change the world. And then I find myself in a meeting room like this, and I see, look, I follow him on Twitter. On Twitter, I try to understand. I never dive deeply on FIO. I have an account because I'm a Genesis, and I found that project long ago, and I think I have. But again, as a user, I know we as users, we want things very simple, very, you touch a button like Luke was talking about, Steve Jobs. We want to push a button and things happen, especially when we want something from it. And as a user, I started on blockchain because of Steemit, because I'm a surf coach. I want to keep my knowledge. I want to create content to teach people, but I don't want to put out there and then lose that value, because I want to monetize that value. I want to show. I was trying to put a lesson of surf in a very simple ways, using the fundamental truth, like Elon Musk teach us, like boil things down and build from there. And I did that with surf because I'm an engineer. So I'm not a civil engineer. I'm a safety advisor engineer. So I have some fundamentals about center of mass, I don't know, things like that. And you can use that to teach people to surf, to give them a why, a what, and something like that. And I was trying to build that with some vectorials, I don't say that in English, like, very simple draws, very simple things to teach people. But I want to, at the time, I want to put them out on internet. But I was like, okay, but I cannot do that because I'm not gonna pay the money. I'm not gonna pay my bills with that. So I found Steemit and I said, okay, this is the way. And then was at the time EOS was ICO. And I keep just searching and dances, ideas, all that stuff. It's amazing, and I just dive in, and just not. I'm a little bit on the weeds, but what I want to say is, like, I just found crypto world because I want to monetize my content. And what I see from a user perspective, it's like I see a lot of people talk about tech, but in the end we don't have a product, and Wax give us that product. And I feel that like the account is easy. I can say, hey, look at that. I have an NFT. Just go to the Wax wallet and create one, and bam, is there. It's not like, oh, you have to think about RAM, CPU, and all that stuff. It's really hard to explain that. It's even hard to explain a blockchain, just the fundamentals. I spent 3 years on that since I started this. So as a user, I keep saying what Steve Jobs already found years ago. It's we want to think simple, very, very simple. I know it's something is not easy to accomplish, but it's that the way, and I'm sure you know that, guys. I'm sure. But what I want to say in the little time I have, it's just, guys, thank you for your passion and your time, because it's really, really hard. But even from my side as a user, is even hard because we want to know those things. We need, or we must spend time to learn all the stuff you already know, to reach just a little bit what you have, to have an opinion. So as user, it's been really hard too, because then we get trapped in all that conversation, like, oh, EOS is not good. Oh no, Eric, I don't know, you know, the shield point, and it's hard. It's a mess, and you just can find some direction when you just look at things with values, like. But not everybody has those values. It's hard. It's a mess. It's really hard to find a way. But yeah, I want to thank you guys. I want to thank you, Luke, for your gardening advice, and not gardening, more fruits and things, and what you are teaching your kids. And it's like an example for me too. I want independence. I listened the book of Dan's book, More Equal Animals, and I found myself like, yeah, it's that what you are thinking about for years, and I think it's here the moment you can take action, you can go. I'm just skipping my job and just stop to do some reports and say like, no, this is important for me. I'm not gonna. It's gonna be hard in the future to look back and say like, the world is a mess, and you didn't nothing for changing it. So that's why I'm here, and I'm trying to give you my experience. It's maybe confused because the English, all that communication stuff.
No, it's super valuable. I think it's really,
try
really valuable.
to keep that energy flowing, and is that I just want to say, look, guys, I'm here. I'm just a newbie. I'm just a user, and you are not alone. We are coming. We are here, and behind me there are more. And I can bring more, and it's amazing. And when we just stop a little bit and think about all that stuff, it's mind blowing. And suddenly you start to think, hey, you're gonna be rich, you're gonna have Lambos, and say like, no, come on, I don't want a Lambo. I just want a freedom, and freedom comes with independence and autonomy. And it's that, choose your vote with your feet. Vote with your feet. If you like it, just stay. If you don't like it, turn around your feet and go away.
Nuno.
Yeah.
Can I interject just for a second? I'd love to come to Portugal and give you a blockchain lesson, and you give me in exchange for a surf lesson. That's what I was going to say.
Sure. You know, it's really hard. It's really hard to find people to talk about those things. My wife is just like,
oh yeah, my wife isn't into it either. I was just real quick. I was just noticing a lot of people are already doing their voting in the Telegram, so we could probably actually end it short. Vlad, I did look at a consortium, and I was reading I guess the latest Medium post was in October. Looks really cool. Do we want to talk about how we're going to vote? Like, is this room going to move forward with? If Rob, if you don't want to do it, I mean, I'll vote for myself if you guys are cool with that.
I'm bowing out. I would love to vote for you, Luke. I think you have earned it.
I want to vote for Luke, but I want to, Vlad, you want to say something?
Of course, let's give him the floor.
I'll give you a chance.
I'll give my vote also to Luke. But I have a question. Why is Rob not? Why are you not a candidate?
It's mostly, honestly, just a scheduling conflict today, and I don't want to muck up the works. So I only had about 2 hours, and it looks like this process is going to take 4. So
Okay.
I'll participate in the real election, most likely. And I know if Luke makes it to the top, or when he makes it to the top of today, he would allocate that 1,000 EOS prize wisely. So I feel that Luke
And I would
will do
certainly
it right.
be asking you and others how to do that properly. So yeah, thanks, Rob. All right, cool. Well, I was thinking if we're okay shutting down a little bit early, then I think we could just close it down, and then I could get the recording uploaded to IPFS. That way we have a little more time to do that. Does that work?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Works for me.
Yeah.
I'm a volunteer, so I'm recording too, so I'm gonna.
Okay, cool. Excellent. All right, yeah. So I'm
I
gonna
casted my vote.
go ahead and, stop the recording and leave the room, and then that way I think I can get the
Okay.
whole thing recorded, and hopefully I can get back.
So this is room number 5.
Yeah, room number
Okay,
5.
just put
and,
room number 5 and then vote on television.
Yeah, just so it sounds like we're doing room number 5, and then Luke Stokes. Thank you all for
Okay.
the vote of confidence.
We have
I appreciate it.
consensus.
For me, I know this is just a test. So when the real thing comes around, I don't know with all my other responsibilities what level of expectations I can properly set as far as my involvement. But I've been asked by a number of people that I have a high level of respect for to be involved. So that's why I showed up, and that's why I'm here. So appreciate all you guys. And again, I'm glad. I would love to hear more about Consortium. I was clicking around. It doesn't seem like it. I can drill down a little bit, but I love seeing the list. I mean, Cafe DAC, Meta DAC. I mean, these are all the groups that I've been working with since the beginning of mainnet. So if you're still working on that project and there's anything we could do to help with it, I love the focus on governance, and the idea of tokenizing a meta level of governance on top of levels of governance is super fascinating to me. So I'd love to hear more. All righty, y'all. Thank you. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
Awesome
Bye.
conversation.
Keep going.
See you
guys.
on the other
Keep
side.
going. Don't give up. Keep going.
Agreed.